Yun. Hi, everyone. Before we'd like to start, I want to greet everyone good evening. I'm your host, Rafael Sanchez. You can just call me Raf na lang. So this is the first and official episode of ONIC'SCLUSIVE, the official ONIC-PH podcast for the season. Before I want to get started, may gusto akong pakilala sa inyo. I would like to formally introduce ang ating special guest ngayon. Nagsimula siya ng maging caster ng MPL-PH nung season 3, specifically in the English broadcast. He's one of the most known and the forefront English broadcasters here in the Philippines, and he's also the Renaissance era of the so-called Konyo caster sa Pinas. He's also known for a lot of things, pero mas kilala siya bilang isang tatay na kinikilalang lahat, ang pinaka-cute na pet sa buong MPL Philippines. Please welcome Dan Leo Cubangay.
Rap, thanks for having me. What's up? So mga Sonics na nanonood, mga ka-Onic, real quick, gusto ko lang update yung last line, alright? Correct, I am the father of the most prolific pet in all of MPL-PH history, si Cups.
Yep.
Pero may lumalaban eh.
Oh, wait.
May humabol.
Sino?
Si Castle.
Oh,
Ayan. So, it's just a matter of time until ito magpakita sa mga rap battle.
Yeah.
Kasi makulit to eh. But yes, thanks for having me. What's up?
So, great to have you here, Leo. Definitely, first and foremost, I just want to explain to you guys ano yung pinaka-point and objective ng podcast natin ngayon. So, basically, the idea of our podcast today, or what the reason bakit nga may on-exclusive in the first place is, I want you guys to know that the idea namin is, gusto namin pakita yung counterculture podcast. What do I mean by that? Kasi sa lahat ng mga podcast na nakikita ko, parang minsan kasi puro plastic na lang, kung ano na pinasabi. Pero sa amin ngayon, gusto lang namin pakita yung katotohanan. Specifically, we believe in one thing here. It's a no bullshit policy. So whatever I say in my mouth, or whatever it comes from my mouth, lahat niyan, I just want you guys to know it's authentic and genuine. And I'd also want to definitely thank having our guest today, Leo, for coming over. Because gusto namin pakita yung perspective, hindi lang isang organization, but at the same time, isang perspective ng professional pagdating ng scene ng ML. So once again, we'd like to thank you, Leo, for coming over. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me. Guilty as charged. Sa totoo lang, whenever I do shows or I even work on my own podcast, Recall, right? It goes through a filter. It goes through several filters. Kasi ang goal ko naman when I work for the majority of my time as a professional, right? 9 out of 10 times, gusto kong mag-inform. Gusto kong tumulong. Dun sa mga audience na parang, uy, bago ako sa ML or ano bang meron sa MLBB Esports.
Tama.
But for something like this, for On-Exclusive, I think it's a safe space. It's a nice way to go like, no, this is what I feel, this is what I think.
Tama.
Dito yon.
Yeah. So since you mentioned that it's a safe space, right? So the idea of being here is we want all our guests to understand that the same thing. We have one culture here, no bullshit policy. If you have something that's on your mind, kung may gusto kayong sabihin, sabihin nyo na. Kung may kinakagalit kayo or may kinaiinis nyo, go ahead, say it. No holds bars tayo dito.
Okay.
Pag may pag napagalitan, let's deal with it later on na lang.
Consequences.
Yeah, wag na yun. We live in now. Ngayon tayo nabubuhay. Mamaya na yung problema na yan. Pero jokes aside.
Hindi pa nag-start yung season.
Hindi pa pala. O sige, pwede tayo manggago ngayon. Hindi, joke lang. Before we get into our other topics I'd like to discuss with you today, first and foremost, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are as follows. Attaché, Ready Anywhere. Isuzu Subic, your responsible partner. Anterior Solutions, empowering businesses with software solutions. KTM Bike Industries, ready to race. And lastly, Timex Philippines, we don't stop. And most importantly, we'd like to cordially thank and formally thank the one and only Lazy Esports Incorporated, the #1 sponsor of ONIC Philippines. Let's give her a round of applause. Salamat
Thank you,
po,
madam. Thank
madam.
you.
Salamat po. Okay. Madam, Starbucks mamaya. Thank you. Joke lang. Before we get into it, sige, I want to ask, how have you been?
I'm okay. Ang haba ng off-season, right? We were talking about this off the air before we turned everything on. I think everyone agrees. Ang haba ng off-season na to. I think in the history of MLBB esports, ito yung pinakamahabang off-season.
Tama.
But I've been keeping busy still, right? I got a day job at Dark League, so Dark League is very good. I believe in what they believe in, so perfect yun. But we've also been around Southeast Asia the past few months. Very, very busy, very hectic. Pero masaya. Ang saya na ganito ka busy kahit off-season.
Tama ba? No, you're right, you casted for Snapdragon, right?
Correct. Yes,
Yes. Congrats.
Thank you. No, congrats to us as part of the broadcast.
Tama.
Not so much for PH.
Okay. Sige.
I gotta admit, ang sakit din no off-season.
True. Oh my God. Sa totoo lang, ang off-season, like, just to share, pagiging like country manager, so on and so forth, I think everyone can attest to this. Kung ikaw kasi yung bahala pagdating sa mga major decision making, especially sa pagdating yung sa mga trades, mga ganun, sa negotiations, yung post-season talaga yung pinakasakit sa ulo. Pinakamasakit sa ulo.
Yeah, no, I feel ya. Kasi kami, bilang part of the league, right?
Yeah.
Stressful na siya, thinking like, ano mangyayari next? How do we take advantage of all of this time na wala yung liga? Na basically, eyes are on the individual.
Tama.
What more bilang stakeholder? What more like, I have to prepare for this upcoming season?
Yeah.
Paano kami hindi makakabog? All that.
Correct,
so I get it.
Yeah. And given that, before we get into the teams that we want to talk about, don't forget, guys, to check down the comments below. We're having a code drop for our team battle notification.
Meron na.
Yes. So, be one of the lucky commenters and you might win yung yung battle notification. So, go ahead and check the stream. By the way, kung mag-share kayo, mas malaki pa yung chance nyo para manalo yung team battle code. So, go ahead and share it na rin.
I shared it.
Nice.
Okay na.
Okay.
I'll wait for my battle code.
Sige. I have to ask, since we're already talking about ML na, right?
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts that has been happening with this postseason natin?
Okay. So, medyo rewind yan, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna have to throw back like 3 months. Postseason 11.
Tama.
Okay. Where do we begin? Ang rich kasi ng MPL-PH, di ba? Like, season 11 was one of the craziest we've seen in a while. Ito yung season na mali lahat ng predictions ko.
Yun nga eh. Kilala ka nga dun yun sa lahat ng predictions mo. Tama eh.
Pero ngayon, mali lahat. Even down to the score, Raf. Like, 4 days ang playoffs, right?
Tama.
4 or 5 days, something like that. Sabi ko, pagdating no second to the last day, ayoko na mag-predict. So, pag pinagpe-predict kami sa broadcast, send in your predictions, lalagay namin sa screen. Sabi ko, ayoko, lagyan mo X. Tama na, no more. So, that happened, right? Sabi ko, I don't want to predict anymore.
Yeah.
Pero kung may tatanong kayo sa akin sa panel, okay lang. So, tinanong ko ni Mara. Hindi ko malala kung sino sa mo, si Uwomi yata. Kinakausap ko, okay, Leo, may prediction ka ba? Sabi, ayoko na, wala na. Sobrang mali na ako. I don't wanna curse the teams.
Yeah.
Tapos sabi, sige, bigyan mo akong score. Sabi ko, it's either 4-1 or 3-2 lang yan.
Yeah.
Hindi nangyari yun. It didn't happen. Like, yung score pati mali. So, even the numbers were wrong. So, talaga nasabi ko, season 11, something about it. It's very different.
Sa the next time gagawa ka ng prediction, sama mo ako
Sige.
Para the next time, alam ko sino yung kapupustahan ko.
May consultant ako.
Yeah. Basta kung sino pinili mo, hindi ako pipili doon. Yun yung gagawin ko parate.
What if I get it right in season 12? Paano kung fluke pala yung S11?
Who knows, diba? Sige. Since we're already talking about the season, I would just want to get your thoughts, like the overall preparation, everything from like the ISF, right? Yun nga, may nagkaroon pa nga ng Snapdragon. And then on top of that, MSC, sobrang haba.
Diba? SEA Games.
SEA Games, yeah. SEA Games on top of that pa, sobrang haba. Pero given the time that we've been resting, the time that we've been having our decisions, the time that we needed to do all these certain things para nga makapag-roll tayo bilang isang org, bilang isang production, bilang isang liga, right? Para sa'yo, how do you think the overall preparation, how the overall marketability, overall scene ngayon, how do you feel about it?
Okay, going into season 11, I had to admit, like, meron kaming parang team building Every pre-season ng MPL, the league actually does well to take care of us. Parang nagbabudget sila na parang, sige, lumabas kayong casters. Mag-activity kayo kung gusto nyo. So, season after season, may ganon. So, this pre-season 11, nag-rent kami ng isang resort. And we spent like 3 days, 2 nights. Just to like, open forum, talk, orient the new MDL talent. Alam mo yun, like, get real personal. And me being one of the more senior casters. Diba?
Do you mind?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh?
Yeah.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that a surprise? That like, am I younger or older than
I
you
thought
thought?
you were younger. Mas bata ka. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Okay.
I'm 30, yeah. So, hindi halata. I hope so. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm one of the more senior casters in age and in, I guess, experience. So, inutusan ako.
Yeah.
Sabi, Leo, mag-ano ka naman, mag-talk ka naman, ganyan. I think the topic that was given to me by Moonton was talk about responsible broadcasting. Ano bahala? Sabi ko, sige, I got this.
Yeah.
So, this was around day 1 of that night.
Yeah.
Tapos we called everyone to the pool. Dito tayo guys. Pero casual lang, di ba? Casual lang yung setup. And upo kami lahat. Kasama MPL, MDL casters na lahat.
Yeah.
Alright guys, pa-start na yung next season, ganyan. So, hindi ko maalala yung setup ko, pero I did my best to set it up na parang, this is about responsible broadcasting. Very professional setup. 15 minutes later, nag-iiyakan yung mga tao. I don't know what triggered this whole open forum type setup na biglang, man, I wanted to talk about work, ba't kayo umiiyak? So apparently, that's where the discussion went. And nung turn ko na magsalita, wala akong maisip kasi nag-share na lahat ng kanilang parang, alam mo yun, like life stories and like why they're in the league, bakit nila linaban tong dream na to. So, and all I could think of was at that moment, I'm burnt out. Season 11, I was burnt out. Kasi compared to how long this off-season is, again, you mentioned ISF, Snapdragon, SEA Games, all of that. Yung off-season between S10 and S11, yun yung sobrang ikli. Kasi from S10, you have MPLI, M4, and then pagbalik mo, February na yun. Media day na agad yun eh. Right? So at that point, nung nag-team building kami, I felt super burnt out. So that's that mindset. Now, here, parang ano na siya eh. Hindi pa nag-start yung season, right? Pero feeling ko, nasa season na ako. Feeling ko, umaandar na. That's what this feels like to me. Yeah.
Parang yun na nga eh, parang as early as now, yung laban hindi na nagsa-start sa stage eh.
That's right.
Parang hindi na nagsa-start sa game day. Wala na yun, boy.
We're bigger than that, I think.
Ngayon, pare, ang labanan, unang-una pa lang, sino yung mas magandang roster? Sino yung mas magandang roster reveal?
Correct.
Tsaka sino pa yung pinakamaganda yung jersey?
Sino yung may pinamalakas na coaching staff?
Kasi
kahit yun pa lang, di ba? Bilangan na yun eh.
Paglabas ba lang ng roster, meron ng tier list lahat ng tao. Alam mo na kung sino yung mag-M5 eh. Parang ganun eh. May utak na sila na, ito yung top 8 ko sa what so forth, yada. Pero since we mentioned nga yung mga, for example, roster reveal, yung mga overall rosters, first, I want to get your thoughts.
Okay.
How do you feel about yung mga roster reveals natin ngayon? Sa season 12 how do you feel about yung roster reveals?
Okay. So, that's 8 franchises.
Tama.
Max of 10 players per roster.
Tama.
If I understand correctly, max of 4 coaching staff.
Correct. Actually, feel ko, sa totoo lang, alam ko mga 3 lang ata yun or 2 eh. Pero ginawang 4 kasi sa sobrang daming coaches ngayon, parang ginawa na lang ng paraan.
So na-override ng franchises.
Yun ang inisip ko. I don't know.
I think you're correct. Kasi so far, ang pinakamadami talaga dati is 2.
Tama.
Tapos kung may tumutulong, hindi siya part ng roster.
Tama, parang siyang assistant or analyst, gano'n.
Or even manager siya, labels manager. So now, if I'm not mistaken, half of our franchises, almost half, maybe literally half, minax out.
Yes.
So nagtataka ako ngayon, anong meron?
Yeah.
Bakit? And looking back at what happened in all of the seasons prior, right? Lahat ng season since we became a franchise league, parang it all points to maxing out your roster. Parang agreed. Maganda ng meron kang kapalit and meron kang bala panglipat ng MDL. And again, given what happened, like we're in a post-pandemic world, right?
Tama.
pero pinagkakasakit pa rin eh. Meron pa rin nangyayari, and this is a high-level sport.
Tama.
We're at the point where ang kalaban ng ML, basketball.
True.
Diba? And we're a basketball country.
Agreed.
Actually, ganun ka high stakes.
Sorry to cut you off, right? Since you mentioned something about like yung nagkakasakit, I think that's what really pushed us also to even force ourselves to get a roster nga na imamax. Kasi just to share with you, nangyari nga sa playoffs namin ng season 11, nagkaroon kasi ng, I think, health issues, hindi naman problem, si Prince. And yung given na nga, parang instead of him having to think about yung mga, kung anong gagawin para manalo, kung anong gagawin nga para matalo yung kalaban, so on and so forth, nagiging dagdag problema yung health issue niya.
Yeah, and health is number one.
Yeah, true. Kasi at the end of the day, no matter what din kasi, at the end of the day, we're more than just players, we're people before anything. So I think yun nga, who are the teams? I know Blacklist is the 10-man, right? Blacklist, ONIC is one of the 9 teams. 9 almost relaxed na 10.
Omega has like 6 junglers. Joke lang. 3, I think. 3 junglers sila.
Baka 7. I think 7.
May mga ganun. Iba-ibang configuration. Naaral ko na yan eh. Merong switching. Merong team A, team B.
Tama.
Tapos merong parang kapalit to. Ganun. Tapos merong ito lang yung main.
Tama. Yan. Parang yung may standing na forever siya nandun and so on and so forth. Tama. Okay. Since we're really getting into it now, before we get into that, let's talk about yung overall reveals nila.
Okay. Sige. Number 1. Okay, let me just get through this, all right?
Sige,
I've said this maybe half a dozen times in public and in many different channels.
Yeah.
TNC number 1.
Okay.
TNC just broke the game.
Yeah.
I have to admit, walang patang TNC ngayon.
Yeah.
Ganun kalupit yung TNC. Guys, you can put up the TNC roster reveal and it doesn't even have to be ML.
Yeah,
it can be for anything.
I have to admit. Totoo. Kasi parang the thing about it, kasi it's transcending above ML. Parang yung overall enjoyment and overall entertainment, parang anyone can watch that kahit hindi ka fan ng ML and matutuwa ka. I think what was so done, sobrang magaling. By the way, shoutout nga pala kay Ingrid Ignacio. Written and directed by... I have never met her pero sobrang solid ng gawa. I mean, siya rin naman gumawa ng season 10, di ba? Sa Wonderlust.
Yung whole creative direction ng team.
Yeah. Yes. Grabe. Yeah. Sobrang solid. Kasi parang nakita ko kasi like, to be honest, just to be real, right? The only thing I think about when I hear TNC is just fucking Kaldag, right? That's it. When you think of Kaldag, it's just either Hesu or Bentix, right? And then parang...
Yasuo.
Yeah, those
Their
three.
Coaches,
that's it.
Scholar, Kaldags.
Yeah, Kaldag. Tangin na yung ambag. Kaldag, right? Yun na lang.
Pero what's funny is, you say that, right? It comes out of your mouth now.
Yeah.
Pero to me, it's not negative.
Correct. Because actually, what happened nga is parang ginawa niyang negative into a positive. And that's what I love so much about it. Yung ginawa nga, for example, yung negative na season 10 and 11, parang rest in peace. In-acknowledge nila yung mga mali nila eh. And I think that's so important.
Sila eh.
Yeah. So, why not? Siyempre, di magaling kaming sumayaw. Di may pa-dance number kami. So, let's incorporate that na rin.
Alam nila na kahit ganito kami, papanoorin nyo eh.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, sobrang lupit. Kasi yung season 10, ang vibe nila, parang 80s eh. No? New,
Yeah.
Harlem Globetrotters. Parang light.
Tama.
Tapos, nabaon sila doon. And now, they went back to the black.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going into the jersey here. Pero, pag inisip mo siya, ang galing ng storytelling eh.
True. So, again, shout out Ingrid. Solid talaga.
Yeah, I've had the honor of working with Ingrid and TNC. Like, they're an amazing org. And yun yung number 1 para sa akin. Like, sobrang just...
I have to agree. I mean, kahit sabihin natin ONIC ako and all right, but shit yung ginawa ni Ingrid, solid talaga.
What's great is great.
That's great. Parang kami, we're gonna use that as inspiration pagdating sa content overall, roster reveals overall, and I think it's such a great thing. I mean, speaking of it kasi, like, since you're already talking about it, na parang it's forcing each other orgs na kailangan nyo mag-level up in terms of yung content.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important kasi parang ang pananaw lang sa atin dati is like pagdating ng game, puro esports na lang. And I feel like that's not doing justice per se pagdating sa pagiging isang professional player.
Yeah.
Kasi for example, right, I want people overall to to enjoy the MPL. Whether it's because like, oh, idol mo si ganto dahil ang galing niya magling. Idol mo si ano because galing niya mag so on so forth.
Does it stop there?
Yeah, kasama, di ba? Sometimes you just want to watch people because, oh, they're my idol because they're funny. Oh, they're entertaining. Oh, they're people that I want to be just like. Parang ganon. So I think definitely with that, something like TNC putting up the level, putting up the standard na, right? And since we're talking about standards and being malakas, so I'd like to get into your thoughts on the brand lang malakas. And specifically, what are your thoughts on them changing from brand to AP brand?
Okay. Well, AP brand kasi, how do I say? In the history of MLBB esports, in the history of, ewan ko lang, I can't claim esports in general kasi hindi ko naman alam kung ano nangyari sa labas. Pero sila lang yata yung merong roster reveal party.
Yeah.
At least that I've been to.
Yeah,
right?
tama.
So, how perfect is that? Kung yung TNC na perfect nila yung parang execution of marketing and creativity, na nahanap ng AP brand yung kilite ng maalala mo kami. Kasi attached to good times yan. Diba?
Sobrang talino eh. Parang the thought of having a launch party as a roster. Very interesting,
Boss
no?
A was there.
Yeah, David, of course.
We saw each other's
Shit,
bike.
tangin, alam mo naman pagdating sa alak, andun naman si David eh.
I got there, he was partying already.
Ang dapat nga itanong mo kung anong oras siya umuwi. Yun ang kailangan mong
Can
malaman.
confirm na una ako.
Okay, of course, of course. Feel ko nga, doon nga natulog yun eh. Diyos ko.
He was with kasama niya si, break the fourth wall here. Kasama niya si Banubs. They were together like half the time of the night. Oh.
Pero aren't they always fighting with each other? Sila nga yung nagsasapakan or nagsisigawan sa MPL eh.
They seem very friendly that night.
No, fake news, fake news Okay, pero syempre, going back, diba? Like, on top of yung party, yung party reveal, right? And on top of that is yung solid din ng roster reveal nila, no?
Yes.
Shit, man. Shit.
I was privy to some information na after daw nila mag-Snapdragon, saka na-decide ni Boss AP, and of course with the approval of Boss Jab and everybody else, na when they landed, all right, right up the commercial, right up the roster reveal, we're shooting it. So, after Snapdragon lang nila na prepare lahat yun.
Okay.
Yes. And then, they found the prod house. They spent God knows how much. And then, boom, there it is.
I mean, crazy, no? Like, for example...
2 weeks turnaround.
The time and the amount of time they took para maayos to, para magumanda and overall prod, right? I think it's really showing na nagsistep up talaga everyone in terms of the orgs. Like, if they really want to show na there's a reason for you to care about them, diba?
Yeah. I think safe to say kasi in the case of AP Bren, for Boss AP specifically, dream come true daw talaga to eh.
Yeah.
Years in the making daw. Like he wanted to break into the league for so long and now is the time. So parang andito na ako eh. Flex ko na. Flex ko na. So I think yun yung isa sa mga goals ni AP Bren. So why not? Minsan lang maging first time sa liga eh. Right? So besides besides RSG slate, we'll go to that later. Besides RSG slate and besides kasabay sila na Minana Evos, first time in the history of our league na may nag-change name.
Yeah.
Sabay-sabay sila and it happened in season 11.
Correct.
Season 12 now, yeah.
So actually, the only thing I have against AP Bren is like I have nothing, sorry hindi naman sa wala naman lang hate towards sa AP. Actually, shoutout kay Sir Mark from Mark Cerezo from AP. Hello. It's the tagline, Bren lang malakas eh.
It does, okay. I'm not so sure if they figured that out
yet.
Kasi yung Bren lang malakas predates a lot of what we know now.
Tama.
Yung Bren lang malakas kasi tanda ni Ribo yan eh.
Yeah.
Siya yun eh. Diba? Nandito pa rin siya. Nawala siya na sila eh.
Tama.
It can't be Bren lang malakas anymore.
Tama.
Next, I have to say, ang ganda lang nung name. Like they figured out a way to put AP with this already existing franchise.
Tama.
That is, we have to admit, the very first big name in MLB sports in the Philippines.
Correct.
In the Philippines. So, may ring to it, yung AP brand. So, ang next step is, paano nila papagandahin yung tagline?
True. I mean, since we're also moving forward, mention mo na nga, Minana. Since we're also talking about name changes, what are your thoughts on them?
I'm a little, paano ba? Nalilito ako and malungkot ako
Why?
na yung exit ni Next Play was just like that.
Yeah.
Kasi I met Sir Gab and I met a good chunk of people from their back end.
Tama.
And medyo, alam mo yun, like, those colors specifically, right? The blue, the teal, the black, the white. Ang weird na parang, nawala lang siya.
Tama. Gets ko. Actually, that's true, no?
Even in season 11, it's so weird na Next Play Evos kayo, but Minana is up front. So, again, not everyone is privy to that information kung bakit ganon.
Tama.
Pero I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, hindi lang nila na vocalize is what happened and why. Diba? So,
actually, like yun na nga, now that you mentioned it, no, parang wala mang lang goodbye party, walang farewell. It's just like,
we've seen individual players have better goodbyes.
Oh, tama. That's true.
But
that's
this is
so true.
a whole damn franchise.
Buong org.
Diba?
Mawawala lang.
That's been here for 2 years. Since season 6. Yeah. So, that's where I stand with the whole Next Play situation. Pero, since season 11, since nag-debut yung Minana, Next Play Evos, even season 11 was weird. Kasi kita mong Minana sila. One thing I do like about them is, number one, congrats that the name is there, right? It's stuck already, Minana Evos. And then next is, I've been a big fan of their chant. Minana, Busyan! Sobrang, lahat na makita kong Minana, lalapitan ko every time. It's like, kung yung chant, sige na. Para sa akin lang. Goosebumps.
Actually, since we're also talking about Minana, right? I think it's so interesting na din na, since we're also on the topic about leveling up mga high standards, mga ganon, I think what they're doing now is they're incorporating the overall talents ng Minana to start getting more traction pagdating sa MPL team nila.
Yeah,
so
built in.
Built-in na yan. For example, like yun nga, I mean, okay, Doggy has been there all the time. Never na mawawala yan eh. No matter what will happen.
Yep.
And then on top of that, yung mga gamit ng mga influencers nila, like sila Lea Bernardino, yung mga hype beats, mga ganun, for example. So they're trying to incorporate them into a larger audience na. Yung mga fans nang nanonood lang ng mga ML dahil gusto niya si hype beats or kabrip, so whatever you call those fans, parang pinapa-introduce nila sa whole new world pagdating sa professional ML. Ganon.
Yeah. At worst, you get casual fans. At best, mapapamahal sila.
Tama. Actually, the thing is, the really important thing there is like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's such a good thing pagdating sa liga. Kasi parang it shows na it's not just about esports na lang. It's not just about, who's gonna win or whatever. It's about the whole entertainment. It's about the whole yung buong ecosystem pagdating sa esport.
Para siya, it shows na MPL is a lifestyle. Experience siya.
Tama.
Hindi siya natatapos pag nag-goodbye si Mara. There's so much more.
Yeah, tama. Like every corner of the internet or every corner of ML, there's something to do with MPL. So I think that's really good for them.
Something about Minana that I like. Na part ng branding nila, part ng sabihin natin social media language nila. They're very Filipino. They're very Filipino.
Yeah, totoo.
Yung tagline nila yun, excellence inherited or something like that.
Excellence inherited.
Kasi Minana.
Yeah,
Kasi
Minana.
It's
tama.
in the name. So, looking at all of the current franchises, natutuwa lang ako na may isang sobrang Pinoy. In that sense, na parang, they wear it on their sleeves.
Pero since you already mentioned about being very Pinoy, since we're also moving on to something, RSG Slate did di ba? What's that called?
RSG na lang.
RSG, sorry. RSG did a... Ano nga tawag doon? Yung wavy-wavy? Yung wavy-wavy may tuldok, tas ganon-ganon.
Yung Tagalog alphabet?
Yung tawag doon?
Alibata.
Alibata, right? Di ba? Didn't they do something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tapos, yun yung language nila nung season 11. Alibata plus parang Greek, Roman, ganon.
Yeah.
Pero RSG Slate sila noon. Now, I think may ganun pa rin. Pag tinignan mo yung pattern ng jersey nila, medyo may very Filipino, pero very subtle siya.
Yeah, tama. And moving on to like, for example, RSG, right? Since RSG, not so much news about them, the very simple static post, right? But I think it was just a shocker na parang, oh my gosh, yung ang kwento yung mga tao, parang babalik na si Demon Kite. And sino ba yung magkakalaban dyan? 3 yung jungler, di ba? Pagdating ng roster reveal, yung isa napunta ng Malaysia.
Yep.
Yung isa gusto magpahinga. Tapos ito na. Yung
How convenient is that, di ba? Ang daming tanong ng tao.
Yeah.
Ito yung sagot. Yung isa, hiniram ng sister team.
Oo.
Tapos yung isa, nagpahinga. I mean, H2 is a great athlete. Pero, I have to say this, he doesn't mind. Diba? He's a great streamer, he's a great influencer. Diba? Ang dami niyang gagawin. Even if he's off-season.
Yeah.
And you have this kid, si Irad, na alam mong may ilalaban pa eh. Ang init niyan eh. Nasabihan kang rest well eh. After no champion nung isa. So you have to fight. Mainit yan. So,
and it's making me think, di ba? Example, like, yung caliber kasi ng kalaban niya. Right? You have H2. You have Demon Kite. Yung isa doon, MSC champion, tapos MPL champion na din. So, for example, Hoy, oras ko na, boy. Okay. Solid. So there's so
jungler
much.
pa lang yun, ha?
Yeah.
Jungler pa lang yan.
So there's so much really to look forward to this season talaga.
Those teams na they decided to keep it lean, no? Echo yung 5 plus JP. Itong 5 plus JP, ito yung, 5 plus JP plus Kurt. Ito yung gumana for M4.
Yeah.
Ito yung lineup nila na nag-uwi ng isa pang World Championship sa Pinas.
Correct.
But, gets ko naman, I think Echo Management had leads to other roamers.
Yeah.
Kaya sabi nila, Japes, congrats, MDL1. Doon ka muna.
Correct. I think yun nga, parang what I find so interesting. Sorry, this is not to shit on the marketing ng Echo, right? Excuse me. But the reality is, so Echo had a very simple static post, right?
Yeah.
Simple static post.
Yes.
But the amount of engagement and reach it's got, it's like, no, it's crazy, right? It's just a simple post. And it kind of just really shows na, like, parang, at first I was like, tangin na unfair. Bakit, for example, TNC will do all of these things.
Make a music video, basically.
Yung brand may parenta-renta ng yung puro airplane, ganun. Okay, sige, lahat may ganun. Pero siya nag-post lang, pero yung reach, tapos yung impact sa tao, sobrang laki. And then I realized, why am I hating them? Actually, not even the word hating, diba? Pero,
Why do I feel this way?
Why do I feel this way, diba? Pero then you realize, it wasn't like that from the very beginning naman eh.
They worked for it.
They worked their asses for it.
They shot a K-pop. They shot a matinee idol K-pop photo shoot, and then they had to shoot like a mini action film when they released the super team roster.
Yeah, tama.
And then now I guess they earned it.
Yeah, I mean, syempre parang FU na lang.
Yun. It's the equivalent of it's fuck you money.
It also did this very similar thing. I realizes, shit, only those two can do it.
Blacklist and
Echo.
Okay, to be fair, Blacklist followed up with a big video too.
Yeah. Pero I mean, nauna yung roster, di ba? Yung roster reveal. And then on top of that, yung video.
The video came in like a week later.
Yeah, a week later. Understandable naman because they also want to showcase yung players, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Pero Blacklist can do something like that eh. Also Blacklist because, of course, shit, even them, they work their asses off for it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, understandable naman na regardless of what's happening, I mean, regardless na it's been passed na, they can have the right to do that because they have a legacy.
Yes. How do I say this? The equivalent of Blacklist doing that is yung Echo na having a video, right? Echo didn't have a video, pero ganun pa rin siya.
Yeah.
For Blacklist, the fact na nag-roster reveal ka tapos wala si V-Wise, tapos ganun lang siya, and then you left people hanging for a week, like, wala man na video, wala explanation.
Yeah.
Like, yun yung effect nun. So, agents were going crazy. Even people na hindi fan ng MPL,
correct,
they would go like, wala na si V-Wise.
Tama. But actually, since you mentioned it, right, you know what's even crazier for me? Nag-roster reveal ang Blacklist. Wala yung mukha nung dalawa. Si V and Wise.
Oh, you have a relationship with them. Yeah, no, I forgot.
I have a relationship with V and Wise. Wala yung mukha nung dalawa. Pero mas napag-usapan na wala yung dalawa kaysa sa buong roster.
That's right. There's what, 14 people,
right?
And you talk about 2 that are not there.
Correct.
Yun
diba?
Yung headline.
Correct. It just really shows talaga. Just segue lang. Sobrang laki ng influence ng dalawa, ni V and Wise, sa buong scene. Kundi lang sa Blacklist, kundi MPL as a whole.
I'd argue pop culture in general.
Correct. I have to agree. Tama. Not just MPL, not just ML, but even the Philippines.
In some cases where they've been, right?
Correct. Even
they played in Indonesia, they played in Singapore.
Tama.
They left a mark there too.
Correct. Understandable.
Ganun kalupit. So now you're wondering, diba, like both of us here, people watching at home, anong gagawin ng dalawa? Anong gagawin ng V-Wise in season 12 this whole time, right? Kasi starting September 8.
Yeah.
Starting when MPL Philippines Season 12 starts. No? Dire-diretso na yan eh.
Tama.
Saan sila papasok?
Yeah.
Kasi after this, MPLI. After MPLI, wild card.
Yeah.
And then M5.
Tama.
Anong play ni Blacklist? Diba? What, if they do make it to M5, I think the rules state you can't field additional.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So, what happens?
I mean, I even asked like, right, Moonton, kung pwede ka dumagdag ng player in the middle of the season. Kasi kung tama ako sa MPL Indonesia, pwede.
MPL MY also.
Yeah,
Yung sa nila yung trade window. It's now a free agent.
Tama,
ganyan.
tama. And buti ng, I wanted to ask because siyempre may tinanggal recently. I won't tell who. Pero siyempre, I just wanted to ask if he was possible na pwedeng itagdag. Pero, and then, in reality, bawal pala talaga.
Bawal talaga.
Bawal talaga.
So
You can't touch.
League rules ng PH, very different
very
sa
different,
MY's
very
ID.
different. Yeah. So, given that, I don't know what's gonna happen to them. But all I know is whatever they're going, diba? I mean, I hope that I feel like they'll still be dito. Nandito pa rin sila. Sorry, konyong-konyo. They'll still be dito. Andito pa rin sila sa overall ML scene. Feel ko they'll still be here.
Ano sila? Same as dogs. Omnipresent yan.
Correct.
Diba? Pag sinabi mong Filipino MLBB,
andun din.
Naka-attach na yan.
Yun yung mga mukha ng mga ML. Mga si Doggy, si VYs, lahat, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Before, I just want to announce to everyone, there's been code drop. Yeah, don't forget to comment and share the stream. Make sure that to share and as much as possible, put on notify, follow, and exclamation notify and exclamation follow it. Ayun. So you can follow the page. On top of that, I want to thank our sponsors once again. Attaché, Ready Anywhere. Isuzu Subic, your responsible partner. Anterior Solutions, empowering businesses with software solutions. KTM Bike Industries, ready to race. And lastly, Timex PH, we don't stop. Yun. So moving back, right? Since we already mentioned VYs.
Yep.
Simple question.
Let's go.
Tama pa ginawa nila?
Yes.
Why?
I think I mentioned this on Recall. Or if not Recall, some live, right? Na nabanggit ko na the person is always number one.
Correct.
Diba? We're people first before esports athletes,
Tama,
before icons, before influencers. So kung kailangan magpahinga ni V at ni Wise, kailangan magpahinga ni V at ni Wise.
Pero hindi ba? Like, actually, my thoughts din. If you ask me, like, ako rin, same thoughts.
If nothing else matters, diba? Yeah.
Ang para sa akin, tama ba yung ginawa nila? Para sa akin, oo. Kasi if you look at it and being with them for maybe like 2 seasons, right? And understanding like what they go through, not just as individuals, pero bilang partners in life, right?
Yes.
Parang there are times na you can tell na they are working so hard.
Too hard,
yun nga. Too hard sometimes. That they want to just make sure everything is done right. They want to make sure not to let people down. They want to meet their expectations from others and at the same time yung expectation nila sa sarili nila.
Yep.
And on top of that, I think regardless of all yung mga adversaries, yung mga struggles nila, they make sure just to do it because they love it and at the same time they're having fun.
Yeah.
Pero ikaw nga, 'di ba? Ikaw na napag-usapan na kanina. You started ng season 3, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been in MPL? Like 3 up until like 12.
Never
season
took
12.
a break. Yeah.
How?
Oh wait, I did take a break. That's a long story, but yes, I was out for a majority of season 6.
Season 6. Okay. So let's take out season 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many is that? 8 seasons, right? Diretso. And then even you said you're burnt out.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if you look at the yung sa dalawa, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, sorry, hindi sila nag-9. Tama ba?
Yes, nagpahinga sila ng 9.
Nagpahinga sila ng 9. Pero yung the fact na kahit nagpahinga sila, quote-unquote, parang hindi naman pahinga yun eh. Kasi ang nangyari, SEA Games din nilaro nila, di ba?
Tama, that May.
So, hindi rin naman sila nagpahinga. So, technically speaking, all this time, they've just been chasing trophies all this time. Siyempre, I think, with everything that's coming, right?
Yeah.
And feel ko yung biggest factor, right? It's like, of course, they want to compete. Knowing them,
gusto nila.
Hyper-competitive ng dalawa.
Yes.
Super competitive.
Yeah.
Even the simplest things, they're competitive. But these guys kasi, They understand. And I feel like the reason behind it was like, maybe it's because of the pressure coming in the M5, or at the same time because how long have they been playing this game, diba?
Yeah. Also, I think it came down to schedule. Kasi I think na-mention nila when they put an expose out during their podcast. May podcast
Yeah,
sila, diba?
they have their own podcast.
Sila ni Tori, right?
Tama.
Oo. Na-mention doon na parang ang original plan is sa MSC sana hindi kami naglaro.
Tama.
Tapos kung yun yung off namin, lalaban kami S12.
Tama.
And then to M5. So they were banking on the fact na magpapahinga kami.
Ng last season?
No, ng
Season
MSC.
11. Sa MSC.
Ang gusto sana nila, if I'm not mistaken, like, I remember lang yung excerpts nung podcast. Pahinga sana yon para refresh sila, lalaban sila ng M5 for the qualifier and then M5.
Okay.
So, ayun, feeling ko na ano lang, na bilang tao, hinahanap mo yun, hinahanap mo yung pahinga eh. Kasi nakakatakot yun. What if they said, sige, lalaro kami S12. And then, what if things don't go right? Or worse, things go well, pero matuluyan sila ma-burnout.
Tama.
Mas malala yung M5 mo, no?
Yeah.
Yun. So, I think this is a wise choice. All puns intended. And I think, even, ganito, for this, look at it from the bright side, no? Silver lining. From the point of the younger captains in Haji and Rene J,
Tama.
chance din nilang gumawa ng bagong pangarap.
Totoo.
Chance din nilang parang, hindi, kaya namin to. So, yeah, I think this is a agreement between all of the parties involved. So, parang goods na rin.
Actually, just to make sure, given the opportunity cost, right, of resting versus competing, ako, regardless, kahit sabihin ko, tama naman yung ginawa nila. Kasi sila naman kilala sa sarili na eh. Sila lang naman nakakapag-intindi. It just sucks. Kasi vote status, mga achievement status, yada, sure. But parang here it comes na M5. Ito na eh. Bansa natin to eh.
Yeah.
Part of the conversation pagdating sa M5. Parang ang lungkot.
Ang weird. Parang sa alternate universe. Like, ano to?
Parang hindi siya, Parang ganon eh. Parang like, Nakakalungkot, nakakapanghinayang yung sitwasyon.
Yeah.
Pero you can't force them naman to do it if they can't really feel like na kayang-kaya nila. Not saying na hindi sila kaya, but in terms of yung mga mental health nila, or for example, yung burnout, that's what I mean kung kaya nila.
Yeah.
So, I think more than anything, and since we're already talking about it, about like M5, what if may chance palang bumalik yung dalawa sa M5? Because, if I'm not mistaken nga, hindi ba Dewa United wanted to try to get VNYs?
Yes. I think na-reveal to nung CEO or someone high up in the Dewa management that there were talks.
Sa thought mo, do you think it would work? Baka ito nga yung chance nila mag-M5.
Okay. Kasi, in the rule state, di ba?
Yeah.
May ganon.
Pwede nga.
So, and there's a precedent, di ba? Meron ng mga blacklist players that are currently on loan for other franchises or teams.
Tama.
Super Red. Di ba? Super Red is not owned by Red Giants.
Tama.
On loan siya, technically. Di ba? So, anong rules doon? Yeah, that's good. Ano siya? Okay, two things. Number one, kung pwede ba talaga yon?
Pwede.
On a business level and like a league operational level. Number two, gagana ba siya like in an execution level? Para sa akin, maybe not. No.
Really?
Kasi, okay, knowing the two, I think you'll agree with this, they want to be in control. Gusto nila, kung ano yung game plan na to, natin, is what goes.
Pero, here's the thing That's exactly it Because they want the quote-unquote authority, right?
Yes.
Don't you think Dewa will do everything para nga mabigay nga? Para
susunod.
pumunta? Yeah, diba? Kasi you have to admit, pagdating kasi sa mga orgs, this is real, everyone. I'm not bullshitting everyone. There are times that you have players who end up becoming decision makers sa team.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse. Because in reality, these players have such a big impact and influence sa nangyayari na parang sila yung nagmumukha na kung anong gusto ko kailangan mangyari yon.
Pero you have to admit, when you say that, it's also what leads teams to championships.
Correct. Like you have to realize na parang they have to have a say in terms of decision making. Kasi sa totoo lang, ito yung gusto nila. And I don't want to say na it's a bad thing eh.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's just a thing.
It's just a thing. Like, the best way na mako-compare ko talaga, for example, right? LeBron James pagdating sa mga teams niya.
Yeah.
They're like the so-called quote-unquote LeBron James pagdating sa ML.
Sakto. He's the king. There's the queen.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a king there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sakto.
So the idea is something like that. And for me, right, honestly speaking, if you ask me, it would work so much para kay Dewa. Kasi new team. And if you get VNY, shit. Parang sobrang ganda ng entrance mo eh.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is, parang sa MPL Indonesia, it's like a good thing kasi you have VNYs, right? And of course, parang if I feel like if you're getting all these other people na, if you're gonna work behind that, parang if you allow them to do what they want, right? Mas madali para sa kanila.
Okay.
I think, honestly, right, it's a good idea for everything na surrounding them, pero it's a bad idea for the both of them.
Just for them,
Yes,
no?
yes,
On
yes.
an individual level.
Correct. In an individual level, yeah. I think for everything, marketing, fame,
Storytelling.
lahat yun, sobrang ganda. Pero feel ko pagdating sa buhay ng dalawa, it's gonna be super bad.
Exactly. It's counterproductive to what they wanted from in the first place.
Correct.
Yung pahinga.
Yeah.
Di ba? Sobrang, parang ang matutulog ako ngayon ng 2 oras.
Tama.
Pero I'll stay up for 3 days.
Oh.
Di ba? Parang, anong nangyari dun? Like, bakit?
I think on top of that, is like, for example, they want to be taken, right? And yun nga, the point nga is, gusto nga nila yung magpahinga. Kung ba't pupunta sa Dewa yan? Pupunta na lang dito sa blacklist kung baga mas secured yung ano nila dito.
They could have taken like an easier schedule, tapos ilalaban na lang eventually.
Yeah, kasi they're known, I mean, they've been with blacklist for the longest time. Ba't pa sila lipat, di ba?
But this is funny and fair to say. This is the first time I've heard this crackhead theory. Kasi technically legal siya, di ba? Technically pwedeng mangyari yun.
Yes. Pwede nga mangyari
As
yun.
a free agent or as a loaner from a team that is willing to let them go for certain amount or di ba parang an agreement.
Yeah.
Pwede nga technically magpakita ang blacklist at M5. Ang
VY sa M5.
At M5.
Yeah. Pero pwede mangyari. That's my theory.
Ewan ko lang. Again, we were in touch with the people who make this possible, right?
Tama.
Kung hindi yun possible, just let us know. Pero it's so crazy to entertain that thought.
Oo. Okay.
Nakakabaliw.
And I think that's what's so interesting, right? But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I just want them to know, if they're listening, like, I just hope you well. I hope that you make the most out of it. And at the end of the day, syempre, kung choice nyo magpahinga, go ahead, guys. Gago, you've been working so hard.
Yeah, no, it's safe to say they changed the game.
You changed the game, you've changed the overall influence, yung kultura ng not just ML, pati nga sa buong Pilipinas. They've made such a mark. So, you deserve that shit.
Yep.
Deserve.
Yeah. There's a few more teams you haven't talked about, by the way.
Yeah. And actually, I wanted to go into it. Omega.
Okay. I mentioned Omega. Sobrang OG nung feeling nila.
Yeah.
Sobrang parang good vibes kasi it brings us back to a time when yung team roster reveals weren't an arms race.
Tama.
They're just doing them.
Correct.
Tapos regardless of what the other teams are doing, ito yung gagawin ng Omega and bebenta to. Yeah.
Have people kasi that hindi sila nasa scene for quite some time, di ba?
Yep.
And then having them come back and then others nga, parang syempre, like, there's a certain thing about esports na parang pagdating kasi sa mga age, parang medyo alanganin yan. That's what, yun yung mga sinasabi ng iba. Kaya mas gusto yung mga mas bata, ganun, for example, right? And I think on top of that, since, syempre, like, GOAT nga, si Rebo.
Oh, yeah.
And then si Chakto nga, na nag-champion na rin. But,
MSC.
Ang concern ko lang nga lang is, for example, yung laro ba nila nung 2012, 22 or 21, papalag pa ba din sa 2023? I'm not saying na hindi nila kaya. It's just me really just questioning like, can they do it?
Yeah, walang immune sa kalawang.
Tama. Oo.
Okay. Problema yan ni Coach Stronger. They have a new coach.
Yeah, tama. Si
Coach
Stronger,
Ronel.
yeah.
I met him at this event for Smart. And he's a nice guy. And iba yung vibe niya. Yun yung sabihin ko. Parang if we're questioning the consistency or kung anong ibubuga ng Omega this season, they've already made changes. Diba? Nag-adjust na nga yung roles nila eh. Diba? Kelra is now a jungler.
Yeah.
They picked up Big J. Jom came back from Malaysia.
Yeah.
And Ryota's there.
Yeah.
Sa totoo lang, excited ako kasi they played in tournaments off-season, right?
Juicy Legends. Correct.
Diba? And yun na yung roster nila sa Juicy Legends.
Tama.
Para sa akin, hindi pa yun
full potential.
Oo, hindi yun yung standard nila.
Tama.
So, may ibubuga pa yun. Yun ang, yun yung, inner optimistic kabarangay.
Oo. And I think yun nga, I think on top of yung question nga, yung pagdating sa mga consistency, di ba? Ang kino-concern ko na nga lang is, for example, right, si Kelra magja-jungle. So, in terms of like, yun nga, mag-multi-role na nga yung tao, tapos consistency pagdating sa ibang members, di ba? So, on top of that, additional things to worry about. I'm just curious nga how well they can handle it. Yun lang yun naman yung tanong ko eh. How well they can be consistent all throughout.
Okay.
How well naman lalabas yung potential nitong gold. Yun nga, may tawag nga tayong gold standard, di ba? Kailan pupunta sa core standard? Ano yun?
Jungle standard.
Yeah. Oo.
Jungle boy. I don't know. Here's my take on it, right? I have a theory and it's not based on nothing, right? The fact that they have 3 junglers in this lineup shows na meron silang fail-safe. Meron silang backup plan.
Diba? May plan A, plan B.
Yeah, they have Andoryu, they have Spidey,
Tama.
and they have Kelra.
Oo.
And then they have Rebo, just in case. Diba? So, ano si Rebo doon? Diba? Pang snap back to reality. Ayusin mo, diba? Ano yun?
Nag-core na ba yun?
Sa hinaba ng karir
Parang lahat naman ng role na laro na
Nag-retry na yun for sure.
Okay. Wala na problema.
Pero realistically speaking, diba? Hindi magja-jungle si Rebo. Rebo was fielded for a specific reason. Diba? Kailangan nila ng backbone, kailangan nila ng authority figure. And at worst, maglalaro si Rebo mid or gold.
Tama.
Right?
Yeah.
So, lahat yon nandun para ma-make sure na gumana itong jungle experiment. So, ayun, that's my theory. At best, hopefully, hindi palitan si Kelra. Yun yung goal. Yun yung goal is mag-main 5 siya and that this main 5 that we're expecting from Omega is what takes off.
Okay. Sige. Since actually though, overall parang ganun naman din yung mga thoughts ko din sa Omega. Just really the case of consistency.
To answer your question, I think yes, okay pa si Chaknu.
Yeah.
Lalo na't nandyan naman si Etomax. Pero you have to ask the same question, right? Etomax spent a season coaching. Yan din may kalawang, for sure.
Yeah.
Pero siguro, it's the fanboy in me. I love these dudes.
Yeah,
diba?
I miss... totoo.
Nostalgic siya eh.
Si Kamote. Kamote, as I call him. Kasi binaliktad lang Etomax.
Tsaka si Bunak.
si
Sobrang
Bunak.
funny, like, Bunak, oy, those who know that's Chaknu.
Yeah.
Here we go! Yun.
Flashback lang din.
Yun. Kaya sobrang OG nung roster reveal na yun. You know what's coming. So, lalo na yung pinakita yung Balenciaga slip-ons, like, of course.
Sige, since we're already talking about it, before we get into yung pinaka-chunk ng pag-uusapan natin sa podcast ngayon, which is yung overall, yung grading natin per team.
Prediction na feeling ko mali na naman na incremental lang ang growth ng imports. Kasi nagka-boom siya last year, right?
Yeah.
Nagka-boom siya when Kyrie left.
Yeah, tama.
And then the experiment worked and now people wanna get more Filipinos.
Correct.
Kala ko dun titigil yun. Kala ko at worst or at best if you think about it from their perspective, kala ko magkakaroon lang ng additional 2-3 imports, di ba? Hindi ko in-expect na halos lahat pala gusto ng Pinoy. Hindi ko in-expect na in MY there would be half a dozen Pinoys. Hindi ko in-expect na in SG there would also be Pinoys. Diba?
And I think on top of that, like, hindi nga lang kasi yung players yung Pinoy, diba?
Coaches.
Parang ang daming coaches na import, right?
Yep.
Pero you know what's so fun?
Cambodia.
Parang sobrang agree sa statement mo na parang incremental growth, right? It's not that sinasabi na yung mga efforts nila wasted, mga ganun. Hindi naman sa ganun. Pero if you look at it, just being honest pagdating sa overall like standard, pagdating sa overall technicalities, the macros, so happens like for example like Hesa, right? Siya na nga yung nagpanalo sa kanila sa Burnix Flash kasi sobrang laki ng bagay. Even though not
Yeah.
Same situation.
Coach Mitch.
Yeah, exactly. These people are like Filipino, but parang what's so weird about it is, okay, pumunta ka ng ibang bansa, di ba? Pero bakit hindi ka binabalik dito sa Pinas? I think the only time that it happened was si Jom. That's it.
Oo. Wait lang. That's a good question. That's a different way of looking at it.
Oo.
Meron pa bang ibang imports na
binabalik, di ba?
Oo.
Actually, sa to lang parang
Merong isa.
sino?
Coach Dax.
Ducky.
Duck.
And I mean, knowing Ducky, yeah.
He's from a different age though.
Yeah,
He's from a different
different generation,
Oo,
di ba?
tama,
Different
tama.
generation, ibang-iba. Pero going back at it, kasi the way I think about it is, lalo na ngayon, right? I remember yung may sinabi sa akin isang player na sobrang tumatak sa akin. Ang habol kasi doon, sa to lang, financial security.
Yeah.
If you compare talaga yung mga salaries pagdating sa ibang bansa, sobrang iba. Just to share, right?
It comes with a premium kasi.
Yeah, it comes with, I mean, it's similar naman sa mga PBA, di ba? Pag kumukuha tayo ng import, hindi naman expected na, expected talaga na, for example, kukuha ng taga-ibang bansa, you have to give them on top of what's normally given dito. So, they get extra on it. Kasi unang-una, pupunta sa ibang bansa.
In-uproot mo yung buhay niya.
Pinadala mo sa ibang bansa eh. So, matik na yun.
Yes.
And on top of that, parang ang pananaw sa'yo, given nga na Filipino talent, yung same way na nakita namin yung mga import natin sa parang PBA, for example. And that's what I'm thinking eh. Na, it's so funny. For me right? Yung pananaw kasi sa mga tao na pumupuntang import, sabihin natin ikaw yung ibang bansa. Parang ikaw yung parang quote-unquote savior nila.
Yeah. Pero
pagdating dito, pag pupunta ka ng ibang bansa, yung quote-unquote player stock mo or yung player value mo, hindi tumataas.
I never thought about it that way. Pero since you put it into the context of if A is equal to B, then C is not true. Kasi ngayon nga, very rare tayo nakakita ng galing ng import and then bumalik tapos may na-achieve.
Oo. I mean, there's not much, right? Kasi for example, Donut, diba? Donut naman wants to stay there, I feel like.
Masaya siya doon, sobra.
Yeah, of course. Model na siya, whatever, doing his own thing. Diba?
Larger than life.
Yeah. Pero for example, like, Hesa was like 1 season without a team, right? I think season 10 ata, or ano. Basta may season siya na wala siyang team.
Or benched.
A bench or bangko, right? Yeah. Pero like, for example, siya nga nagpanalo sa Bernex Flash na that time. So parang ang tanong ko, like, why didn't anyone want to get him
back here?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's one answer to that. And
difference talaga is, for example, like, yung pananaw mo pa din is, when you were here, when even after you left, parang yung 1 season mo, parang walang nagbago. Same lang din.
Yeah. Siguro ano rin, you have to consider na iba yung mundo or iba yung galaw nung mundo, nung MPL na yun or nung ecosystem na yun.
Tama.
Dun sa pinuntahan mo. Because if you make it big in MPL Cambodia, and then you're like Donut, you're like Marius, you're suddenly doing dozens of commercials, people recognize you on the street. Iba yon pag pumunta kang ID. Iba rin yung pagiging Diyos mo doon. Diba? So, yeah, I think partially, something tells me, theory ko lang din, kailangan din mag-grow ng ecosystem natin dito. Bilang lang sa Pilipinas, yung malaganon ang dating. I'm waiting for it, Dilar. It's possible. He might be the one that proves what we're talking about here.
Yeah, nga no. That's true. Kakabalik nga lang. Okay.
Diba?
Okay. I mean, actually, since you mentioned nga, for example, like, we're talking about like Indonesia in particular, right? Like, what are your thoughts about yung mga tao na doon? Like, your Kairis and your Baloys and your yada-yada.
I'm happy for them, one. Two, as I miss them. Whenever I see them there, I see them during international events. Sobrang higpit ng yakap. Sobrang like, wow, kailangan uwi, ganun. Pero I know deep inside, masaya sila doon. I know deep inside na they're living their dream and doon sa mga nag-champion, hell yeah. Diba? Doon sa mga lumalaban pa rin every day in, day out.
Yeah.
Okay pa rin yun eh. Kasi they chose that life. And I think eventually, in like what, 2-3 years from now, normal yun. I think for the sake of our esport and for the sake of the ecosystem, dapat maging normal yun. Dapat masanay tayong hindi nakikita yung kaibigan natin for months at a time because MLBB is an international sport. Parang ganon. So, I'm happy.
I think I have to agree sa to lang. Pero like, what are your thoughts on this all Kyrie esports, di ba?
Hindi ko alam kung if I'm on social media too much or if totoo nga na yun yung base dun sa sitwasyon na yun. Because I see the player's personal status. I see what the media outlets make of those statuses. Pero I'd like to think it's not true. Kasi say what you will about the results na pag hindi si Kyrie naglaro, talo. Or kapag yun.
I think that's what kind of pisses me off talaga. As much as, I mean, Filipino, whatever siya, wala. I think masyado na tayong na over-compromise yung pagiging Filipino pride natin na...
Ang daling mag-auto na, hindi si Kyrie lang yan.
Yeah, parang parang na-understate lahat ng efforts nung apat. I mean, di porket ano ako di porket ONIC din ako na sinasabi ko dapat kailangan mahalin nyo lahat na ano. No, I'm not saying you can love ONIC if you want. If you don't, whatever, fuck it, right? Pero my point is like, you can't really give why do you give so much credit to Kyrie when it's winning but you don't give him the credit when he's losing? It's so unfair na parang it just shows na we have such a big complex na
it's an unhealthy bias.
Oh, it's so unfair kasi parang in reality naman is like you have to realize, diba, like no matter what you play ML bilang limang tao. And no matter what, it's like kahit sabihin natin yung 5 taong yan, you have to realize that it's not just him, right?
Paano ba? I'd like to double down on what you said na porket ONIC ka. Kasi if this whole situation was, let's say with Baloy, or in the case of kahit sino pang team tapos may isang Pinoy doon, I would feel the same. I would never say Hesa Esports. I would never say Donut Esports.
Tama.
Kasi yung team talaga yun. So, ayun, that's where I stand on this. Ewan ko na lang. The whole Kyrie Esports thing is as toxic as Indo Pride or as Pinoy Pride. Diba? Like, when it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, nasa na.
Oo, tama. Totoo. I mean, guys, come on. If we have to just win, we win as a team. If we lose, we lose. But before we go on to our next topic, again, I just want to remind everyone, our code drops. Please check the comments down below. We have our code drops. Make sure to follow the page and don't forget to share the stream, right? And once again, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Attache, Ready Anywhere, Isuzu Subic, your responsible partner, Interior Solutions, empowering businesses with software solutions, KTM Bike Industries, Ready to Race, and finally, MPL-PH, we don't stop. Okay, so perfect yun. So, nagawa ko naman yung mga sponsored deliverables ko. Yep. Okay, pwede na tayo manggago ulit. And now it's the time that I think lahat naman tayo nihintay natin. Most importantly is what are your ratings pagdating sa team nitong season 12?
Sige. What kind of scale are we doing?
Let's say yung very yung standard na S tier yung pinaka solid. A solid na pero may parang konting kulang. B is average. C is I don't know what the fuck.
Okay, C is parang you barely made it.
Yeah, and then D is D is like
D is fail. Sige, F na lang yun.
F na lang, sige, F.
Okay. Sige, who do we start with?
Who do you want to start with?
Okay. Ihuhuli ko yung ONIC because we really didn't talk about ONIC.
Yeah, that's
true. So
it's
not that you're dodging it. It's ihuhuli lang natin. Sige. Sige, let's go with we started with sige, top of my head, Echo, right?
Okay.
Here's what's funny, Echo is an A. They barely got away with it. Pero what we talked about kanina, put it into perspective. They afforded that.
Yeah.
So A, kasi mag-S yan kung may video. A is because yan world champion kami. We came up short. It's been a rough off-season. Pero ito yung main 5 plus JP. That's it. So to me, that's a solid, gitna ng BNA. Yan.
I mean, I think I agree. I think actually, for Echo kasi in particular, yung 5 yan, you can never fault them. I feel like they're always so strong individually, even as a team. Sobrang lakas nila.
Yep.
I think, personally for me, I remember this, yung nakwento sa akin ni Baloy, si Greed, right?
Yep.
There was a time na naghahanap ako ng analyst.
Yeah.
And No Limit, yung
2019,
Sunsparks.
2020. Yeah.
And then I always just remembered him bilang siya yung core ng Sunsparks. But I never saw him as someone na parang
Thank you.
bilang isang analyst. So nung dinagdag nila si JP, ako for me, it's like, sobrang laking bagay din yun. It's like having another coach onto the team.
Yep.
Playing coach, kumbaga.
Na naglalaro.
Yeah,
Yun,
naglalaro. Yun na nga eh.
No, si Irad, by the way. What's up?
Oh, hello. Hello. Shoutout kay Irad. Hello. Going back, di ba? Ako, ewan ko eh. Parang, mataas din kasi talaga ako respeto ako sa Echo.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's in a way like
I guess, product to ng pagiging communications marketing graduate. I break everything down. When I watch a movie, hindi na siya yung movie lang. So inaaral ko siya. So the fact that yung kay Echo, message nila yun we don't need to shoot a video. This is what it is. Yun yung ginudge ko. So between B and A. So parang B plus, A minus. Yeah. So that's Echo. What's next? Sige, let's do RSG. RSG-PH now. Yeah, RSG-PH. Did they have a video?
Hindi, I mean, not just the video, but even the roster included na rin.
Okay. All in.
All in na.
Sige.
All in.
This one is A. A lang. Like, I'm just hard stopping A.
Yeah.
A lot of this is off the back of the possible storylines na meron kay Irad moving forward. And nakuha na ni Light yung, ewan ko lang at this point, gusto niya, I haven't spoken to him in a while, pero magkasama ulit sila nung tropa niya,
ni
si
Apa.
RTZ.
Ay, si RTZ.
Bata kami mga yan eh. And when they were in their prime, oh God, sobrang unstoppable ng dalawa yan.
Work?
Yeah.
Work.
Oh, dude. So, the fact na nandyan sila, and sobrang iba ng playstyle ni RTZ kay Aqua. Diba? So, si RTZ is not afraid to get in there. He's not afraid to get dirty.
Tama.
Aqua, sobrang safe. So, yung possibility na yon, plus, of course, yung MSC winning lineup, the rest of them. And this new kid Soul, I haven't seen him play. Pero, yun. So, ang daming potential, ang daming promise ng RSG-PH ngayon. So, that's why it's an A for me.
I would agree, honestly, dun sa A. I think, totoo lang, I would have put it then at B. Pero I think para sa akin yung nag-push talaga sa akin para maging A was keeping the Irad thing. Kasi iba yung respeto ko pagdating kay Demon Kite and H2, for example, right? Kilala kasi isa sa mga pinaka-respectong junglers here in the Philippines. And kung kaya mong i-beat out yung dalawang yun, parang may sinasabi yun eh.
Yeah.
Yun as I mentioned nga kanina, parang oras ko na to boy eh.
Parang andaling mag-default to H2 and Demon Kite. Kung hindi nangyaring RSG-MY thing. Di ba? Andaling magsabing, sige lang, sila na lang. Yeah.
So yun, I think really an A, definitely. Personally for me, B. Pero dahil nga, because of keeping the Irad thing and knowing how overall yung parang training regimen at the same time yung pinagdadaanan ng mga bata para manalo, I'm putting them at an A.
Yeah. Sige, I remember now what I started with earlier. S. S plus. Tier 0 TNC.
S?
Yeah.
S?
Yeah. Well, number one is because sobrang impressed ako dun sa video.
Okay.
Still.
Okay.
And they stuck to their guns. Kami lang to. Ito lang. 6-man roster. Kumuha pa kayo ng bago, si Bao. Right? And they won Juicy Legends. Off of the back of what? Malinis lang na laro. Tapos yung isa split push pa.
Yeah.
Na mawala na ng boss yung caster. So, that show. Again, magaling naman yung TNC eh.
Yeah.
It's just, season 11 just wasn't for them. So, season 10 also. So, it is what it is. Pero, yun. Taking all into consideration, I like TNC this time around. So, S sila.
Shit. Baka magalit yung mga fans ng TNC sa akin eh.
Oh no. Keep it real,
in
man.
In terms of yung marketability, honestly, S+. They take it. Unbeatable. But the thing about TNC para sa akin, kayang-kaya nila yung sobrang lupit o sobrang shit.
Sugal yan, to be honest.
Sobrang sugal yung... That's what I never... Hindi ko maintindihan yung TNC. Right? Naalala ko yun. Pagkita ko sa season 9 na TNC, I was like, who are these people?
What are you doing?
Who are these people? All I know is Chu. Yun lang yung alam ko. Yung pangkalan pa nga niya, SDZYZ. Ang iba-iba yung pangalan niya.
Chu yan,
And I was like, anong meron dito?
Boom, top 3.
Tapos top 3.
Muntik na silang mag-MSC.
Muntik pa nga sila mag-MSC. Doon ako nagugulat eh. Kaya ako ano talaga ako sa team na yan eh. Parang, sa totoo lang, kayang-kaya nila maging S out of nowhere.
Yes.
Pero kayang-kaya din nila maging F out of
Ang
nowhere.
daling mag-slide.
Oo, I don't know where they are. So I think ako giving them the benefit of the doubt. Kasi to be honest, I can only say, pagdating naman ng pinaka laro na pala, whether it be tama ba ako or mali ako. But ako, I'll just keep them at a safe C. Pero,
Whoa!
I'm
I
giving
thought you were gonna say like a generous B.
Yeah, no. Kasi, it's just like, I mean, see, for me, man, sa to lang, hindi ko pa alam eh. Pero, I'm not discrediting na hindi nila kaya yung ese. That's the thing I loved about TNC. There's ever since naman, lalo na pag S8, S9, yung mga team ko, I always didn't like kalabanin yung TNC. Parati kami natatalo doon. Nababadrip ako. Sila yung nagpatay sa amin, sorry for the word, patay. Sila yung nagtapos ng win streak namin nung season 10 na grabe, dire-diretso yung talo.
Yeah.
Sila yung
nag-check.
Sila talaga. So, I hate them for that because tangin na respeto. I hate them because I respect them.
Yes.
Pero parang, in terms of like, right now, I feel the same thing eh. Hindi ko alam, hindi ko mapasa. Andun pa rin eh.
They haven't shown anything new since then.
Yeah, it's not that hindi ko dinidiscredit si Bentings or yung mga ginagawa nila. Wala. Sobrang hit or miss talaga. Like, tama-tama yung sinabi. Yun. But I'm excited for them. Yun ang excited. Excited talaga ako.
XC sighting. Alright, cool. Okay, so that's TNC. Si Madam Carr from Minana is watching. Let's do Minana then. Let's do Minana Evos.
Sige.
Minana Evos, relatively new yung lineup nila. Inangat nila yung MDL, di ba? Tapos, tapos yung roster nila from season 10. Season 11.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Tama.
Tapos nagpahinga si Ding.
Yeah.
Okay. Season 12, Minana Evos. I give him a B.
Yeah.
Generous B. Kasi, okay, so now we're considering everything. Again, pati potential for play, right? Sobrang kabadog sila no season 11 eh.
Yeah.
Sobra like, yung Diyos ng underground.
Yeah.
Tapos dinala mo sa MPL. And you only really see that God in one game out of a best of 3 every other week. Yun, ano na lang. I'm just hopeful. Very generous B. Sana lumabas na nga talaga yun.
I mean, yun nga yung na-interesting talaga sa Minana talaga. Sa to lang. Season 11 nga, yung team na yun, yung Minana na yun. Na ano kasi ako, parang, syempre, Cerebrum, that team, they were known for the amateur kings. Like, the only time na nakita ako ng ganong caliber na galing, kasing galing, yung Dream High Gaming, sila V.
Yeah.
Yun yung parang ganon yung tingin ko, yung sobrang lupit.
That was before the scene was established, right?
Tama.
So kung mang-stump sila, you can say na hindi lang prepared yung mga kalaban. Pero in this generation, in Minana's life, kilala na yung ML eh.
Correct.
What was the number? 20-something? 20-something titles?
But I don't know how many championships basta tournaments they won. And on top of that, yung mga kalaban nila is fully backed. Hindi lang yung parang tropa-tropa lang, maglaro tayo ng tournament. Hindi na eh. They're part of like large tournaments. They're part of large organizations.
Minsan MPL pa nga kalaban eh.
MPL may kalaban. Minsan may mga coaches na nga. May mga 6 months. Wala, lahat yun. But when it came to MPL, parang shit, nawala.
Yeah.
And I talked to the players, specifically si Boyet, right? He told me then the reality, same, yung sinasabi mong kabadogs.
Yeah.
Pero here's the thing that really kind of scares me, right? Actually, sorry.
For season 12.
For season 12, like, I'll put back TNC to B. I'll give them the B pala. Sorry.
Okay, so retroactively
B sila. Kasi na-realize ko, ang talagang C para sa akin, Minana.
Lalo na't nagdagdag pa sila.
Hindi dahil sa dumagdag sila. For me ang naging concern ko nga is yung MDL tumatalo sa MPL nila. It happened kasi nung Snapdragon ata or yung there were tournaments kasi that it was happening, right?
Yeah.
And
so, tama, si Minana and si Archives naglaro.
Yeah.
Si Archives yung
parating panalo.
Yes.
Parating panalo si Archives.
Yeah.
So,
I casted a bit of Archives. So, yeah.
So, actually, nakakagulat nga din yung nakakagulat din yung so-called growth ng Archives, right? I'm just scared nga. For example, you're having these quote-unquote non-MPL leagues and then they're not performing as expected, di ba? And then now that you have another team na, sorry for the term, parang binalasubas yung MPL.
Yeah.
And then it makes me go like, shit, so who's playing now?
Good question. Sinong main again, there doesn't have to be a main 5. Pero sino maglalaro?
Yeah.
Anong galaw ni Minana?
Is it gonna be like, for example, like, hindi ko gets kung may magiging team A, team B na yan eh.
Yeah.
For me, right?
Yeah.
Hindi ko naman sinasabi na mahina yung MPL team nila or whatever. It's not that. Ang pinaka-concern ko nga lang is, since pumasok na nga yung archives nila and then yung Minana, on top of that, who's playing? Is it gonna be like a team A, team B thing? Yeah. I'm concerned nga, parang for example, sabihin natin na bakit kaya nag-4 coaches? Well, utak ko, baka nga, dalawa doon sa team A, dalawa doon sa team B. So, parang instead of like them working hand in hand na baka it's gonna be that way. Pero hindi ko alam eh. Kasi hindi naman ako part ng organization.
Hindi natin alam until makita natin.
Makikita natin, di ba?
So,
up until it happens,
so
di ba?
yung malaking question mark na yon is the C.
Yun nga. Curiosity. I just don't know what's gonna happen with them.
Yeah.
Kasi I know, for example, like, ang kaibahan ko, na-realize ko din is, yung potential kasi ng TNC, kayang-kaya nila mag-S para sa akin. Kasi they can just shock everyone.
Tapos may consistency pa sila.
So,
kasi alam mo sila lang yan.
Oo, tama. And then, pagdating kasi sa Minana, yung concern ko nga sa kanila is, yun nga, I don't know who's playing. I don't know what's gonna happen talaga. So, yun.
Okay, so that's, we'll recover Echo, TNC, RSG, Minana.
So, ang kulang natin is Bren.
Okay, we'll do AP Bren next.
Sige, Bren.
AP Bren. Oh, wow, AP Bren. IESF Asia Oceania Qualifier Champion. Top 3 SPS.
Yeah.
SEA Games Gold Medal. Top 3. No, top 3 ba sila? Top 4. Top 4 MPL S11. That last one makes me, yun yung masakit eh. Yung pag binanggit mo yung S11 nila. But, I think now maybe they're better. Maybe now natuto sila doon. Kasi sakit nun eh. You were number 1 the whole damn season. Tapos biglang doon ka magcha-choke. Nabawi naman nila eventually. Pero may stumble ulit ng SPS.
Yeah.
Sakit nun, sa totoo lang. Like that best of 5 against ONIC Indo.
Yeah. Actually, feel ko lahat ng tao iniisip dapat Bren yung panalo doon.
Sa totoo lang.
Yeah.
Sa totoo lang. On the flight back, we were talking about it and wala. Since sina Kyle, alam nila yun eh. We talked about it. But yeah, this AP Bren, feeling ko S. I like this AP Bren.
I like this AP Bren. I like this AP Bren.
No question.
I mean, all throughout na, honestly, ang galing din ng ang galing din ng overall brand management, right?
Yeah.
I think how long have they been quote-unquote stuck in yung limbo na parang hindi sila yung top performing team, but parang yung pag-bounce back nila sobrang lupit.
Yeah.
I think yung additions talaga nitong yung mga players nila currently that they have, and such a good idea na may maintain yung, of course, the idol ng mga kids view has always been there, always consistent.
Magic sauce yan si View.
Crazy. That guy's crazy, diba? And then si Kyle just bursting out the scene, yung sobrang galaw niya, sobrang lupit. Even Flap, just parang OG Flap.
Si Flap din. May career renaissance.
Yeah, it's just back the way Flap was, the crazy Flap that we know, yung mga M2 Flap, mga ganon. It's crazy. And then yung sa akin kasi is like, I think overall, because of the time na kinondisyon nila yung players, the time na ito yung overall chemistry nila, palyado walang makakagawa niyan.
Yep. Ito yung long-term investment.
Correct. Kung ito yung long-term na investment, parang ito na yung time na kinukuha na nila yung profits nila.
Yep.
And I feel that genuinely an esteem. Actually, there's a funny thing sa ito lang, Leo. Ako meron akong theory eh. Talaga. Feel ko kasi, kailangan mo talaga ng, para sa akin may mga, pagdating sa mga coach, kailangan mo ng coach yung tipong kailangan mo yung coach na mukhang pagdating sa suntukan, siya yung itatapon mo.
Can confirm.
I have to
confirm.
Look wala akong sinasabi kaila TikTok, si Coach Jeff, di ba? Si Ducky. Pero you have to get the coach na parang
may template yan.
May template eh. Yung parang ano sabi mo? Susuntokin bigla.
Ano yun? I think extreme yun eh. Pero may authority.
May authority yan. Hindi naman siya nanununtok ng player. Pero you get the idea na parang he has this look, he has this aura kasi to him na parang
Panda.
Sobrang laking bagay. Yeah.
Yes.
I think like for example nga, your echoes of TikTok, your ONIC Indo, Coach Sheb, tangina. Kahit ganyan yan, gangsta yan. Pero pag
Coach Mafia yan.
Coach Mafia. Pero pag kinausap mo, well, English, ang galing eh.
He's one of the kindest human beings I've met in my life.
Correct. Hindi bagay eh. And then Docky, for example, even Panda, these people kasi they have to have that look.
And no, in real life, sobrang totoo lang nila. And you need that.
Right.
So, for ONIC, is that bluff?
Hindi ba? Kailangan ba maano ng sutukan si Bluff?
Alam mo ba yung joke namin ni Wolf kay Bluff? Since season, ano ba yan? Since season 9.
9.
Season 9.
Yeah.
Every time may post-match interview, or basta makahagip si Bluff ng cam, ang joke namin ni Wolf is parang ready siya dumiretso sa ilo. Yun talaga. Like, pipicture namin sa screen, di ba? Like, so send namin.
Yeah.
Ito pa post namin. Bluff, ready na.
Inuman pala yung pinuntahan. Pagkatapos, inuman agad.
Pero nag-champion na rin yan si Bluffs eh. So,
season 2.
I think you would know na meron siyang mode na gano'n na, guys, game na to.
True, he has that mode. He has that mode. I do agree. He has that mode that he becomes scary. I agree.
Okay, so that's AP Bren, no?
Correct.
Bren. Who's next?
2 more na lang.
Omega and
ONIC. Blacklist.
Oh, and then ONIC. Okay.
Yeah.
Blacklist. Damn. Blacklist, bigay ko na sa 10-man roster. Some of my favorite players of all time are there.
Rene J.
Rene J, The Hitman, MV3, My Baby Brothers. Tapos may mga new faces ka pa, right? Took one of your dudes away, right? Sensui. So much promise. Pero yun nga, promise lang siya eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Hindi natin pa masabi. So again, I'll give him a generous B.
B? Really? Wow.
Sobrang experiment niya eh.
Really?
Sa totoo lang. Dude, I casted Blacklist in SPS.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
I think, sa totoo lang based sa roster ng SPS, diba? Maybe B, right? Yung roster na yun.
Yun,
Okay.
So, dito sa Blacklist, I'm affording myself being realistic. Hindi ako optimistic. Realistic ako. Sa B na yun. Yes. What would you say?
Ako, A ako actually. But if ito yung kasi yung inisip kong lineup for me Kung ako feel ko kayang talagang pumalag ng Blacklist kung ito yung lineup mo.
Sige.
Si Sensui sa core. Si US sa 4, don't change him. He's been he's overall amazing. Haji sa tank.
Rome Haji. Tama naman.
Rome Haji.
That makes sense.
And then Oheb or Owl. Sa
Edward.
And then Edward, right? Ako, for me, right? Kasi kung tama ko si Rene J or si Kimpo yata naglaro sa SPS eh.
Rene J.
Yeah, but
kasi 4 Haji yun.
Yeah, but I feel like if you put them back, that lineup for me may palag talaga. Actually, my concern sa to lang sa lahat ng yun is really specifically si Yue. Kasi the thing about going back, diba? Hindi na nga sila part ng roster na papag-usapan din. Ito na naman si V-Wise. V-Wise kasi has this amazing talent na they can find a way to just amplify yung strength, yung potential ng player. Ilalabas talaga. My fear is, hindi ko alam kung si Yue kasi na ganun yung eksena niya eh. Kung kaya niya to stand on his own or sobrang lumakas siya dahil nga kasama yung dalawa. I mean, push comes to shove. Kung magbibigay ako ng example, sa to lang. If you guys remember season 4, 5, Yakno. Si Bong. That guy, ewan ko, that guy, hindi siya nagsasalita. Hindi talaga nagsasalita. But the way that guy played, for some reason, kahit hindi nagsasalita yan, is the way that VN Wise liked it so much that they got grand finals. They were able to reach ng grand finals. Back to back. So yun yung kino-concern ko. I just want to know if Yue can do it.
Anong mangyayari now that iba na yung teammates niya?
Tama.
And based on how things are, captain si Haji eh.
Correct.
So, si Haji na ang titignan ni Yue.
Tama,
At titignan ni Edward and Oheb and ni Sensui. So, agree ako. I like that lineup actually.
Yeah.
As much as I love, Rene J. It's never gonna stop. Just like Timex. And as much as I'd like to see Aeon, Aeon is a gold medalist, right? For SEA Games. Kim Poy. Sino bang explain nila? Dom is in MDL. I forgot. Sorry. Ang laki ng roster niya.
Wait lang
bago.
Oheb, Sensui, Rene J, Ion, Yue, Haji, Aul, Kim Poy, Edward.
Na isa pa. Yun lang yung namimiss ko.
Yun lang ata eh. Di ba?
That makes him a 9-man roster.
Sino isa?
Hindi. Mag-XP si Rene J. Kasi Kim Poy Rome. Tama, there it is.
Okay.
Ayun. I agree with what your lineup was.
Yeah.
Feeling ko yun.
Yeah.
So, kung yun, siguro A. Pero kung, again, hindi natin sure, B na lang.
Okay,
I'm
sige.
safe with B.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, okay. So, what's next? Omega?
Omega.
I give Omega an A.
Hey, really?
For Blacklist, ewan ko lang bakit sa Blacklist ko.
Yeah.
Sa Omega naman,
Optimistic
optimistic.
ka.
Parang good vibes eh. Sa Blacklist, when I look at Omega, I'm like, yeah! This is gonna be a good season. Kahit ano mangyari, may playoffs yan.
Feel ko kasi yung mga memories kasi na tumatak sa mga players na yun eh.
Yes.
Ang ganda kasi nung pinapakita nila eh.
Yeah.
Pero funny enough, baliktad tayo eh. Ako naman, naging optimistic ako sa Blacklist, nagiging realistic ako sa Omega.
Hinahanap mo pa rin yung consistency.
Feel ko B.
Okay.
Consistency is my problem lang. Yun lang talaga.
Yeah.
Yun lang yung concern ko.
Yeah. And also siguro, test kay Coach Ron.
Oo.
He's new to the league. Pero malakas yung resume niya. So talagang mababatak siya dito. Matetest yung ano.
Oo, tama.
Ayun.
Very concerned. Pero yun lang, going back naman, I think, sige, Omega, just want to say one thing. Super interesting kung sino yung jungle nyo. And number 2 is, shoutout nga pala sa panghuling member ng so-called M3 era ONIC, Noe. Shoutout, we miss you. We hope you good luck there and take care.
Yep. Si
Atoy R.
Si Atoy R.
Atoy R.
The general of the Atoy Army.
Yeah.
Riot Army didn't fly out. So, ang bahaw lang pakinggan.
Riot Army.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with the word. It's just hindi siya maganda pakinggan.
Yan. Since we're good now with the all, oh shit, we're missing one more person lang.
Ano yun?
And that's ONIC. Hello.
Makalabas ba ako dito?
Pero yeah, actually, ONIC, where do we stand now? Ewan ko parang before ako makapagbigay kasi ng mga sagot or hindi ako makabigay ng parang proper rating.
Yeah.
I think more than anything, gusto ko kasi i-deep dive kasi yung mga nangyayari sa ONIC now specifically. I think yung concern nga with ONIC right now is, I'm just gonna be honest and be more upfront about it kasi feel ko kasi yung nangyayari ngayon is right now, ONIC still lives in the shadow of our former selves.
Nung season 10 pa.
Season 10, yeah. Season 10. I think season 10 up until now.
For more than a year.
Oh, more than a year. Parang, that's what I feel so unfair about. Pero, I can't say, hindi ko sila masisisi ba? Kasi parang, nagawa kasi ng mali ng ONIC yun eh. And I think these are things that I really want to address and for up front for everyone to really understand din kasi. I mean, hindi ko kayo mahi-hate kung bakit hindi na kayo fan ng ONIC at that time. Kasi parang in a way nataksil kayo eh. Parang it was sobrang backstab kumbaga.
So could you compare this to like the Itbulaga situation?
In a way, yeah, in a way. Kasi for example, Itbulaga, diba? When you think of Itbulaga, you have their own MV3, diba? They have their own MV3.
Tito Vic and Joey.
Yeah, and then when you look at this one din kasi you have your own stand-alones, you have your own individuals that define ONIC. And the moment na tinanggal lahat sila, wipe out of existence, parang ganun din naman yung feelings ng fans towards the team overall eh.
It was weird kasi at the time, throwback no, dun sa mga diehard ONIC fans na nanonood niyan or mapapakinggan to, it happened, me included, right? Me included. It happened so fast, pero also so slowly rin na parang, oh no, anong nangyayari? And then,
yun na nga, if you recall nga, there was a time na, syempre, pag post-season, cloud chasing season yun eh. Sa to lang, especially pagdating sa players. Yung mga joke na LFT, goodbye, ganon. And then out of nowhere, naging totoo yung LFTs na nila.
Ang nangyayari, yung kabaliktaran, instead of cloud chasing, parang slowly, parang binabakbak yung idea mo of what my favorite team is.
Correct. And it just sucks kasi like, if you ask me, I didn't want that to happen eh. And to be honest, I mean, may part kasi dyan na meron akong decisions in all of this. Ako personally, even I didn't want to let them go. Never. Kasi I felt na they were the team that I could finally bring a championship pagdating sa Onyx.
And you were so close.
I was so close at 2 times pa.
Yeah. Is this the first time this is coming out like on a public?
I mean, yeah. Kasi hindi ko naman masyadong sinasabi to sa lahat eh.
Parang alam ng some people involved know the story, but you never told it
yeah,
out.
Oo.
Wow.
Actually, the idea nga is like, ang nakagulat pag nalalaman ng ibang tao yung talagang kung ano nangyari sa Onyx sa totoo lang. And just to share din kasi, reality speaks kasi, you have to look at esports, specifically MPL as a business. Negosyo talaga at the end of the day. Pagdating sa mga, kung sino pang team naman yan, kung Blacklist yan, Echo yan, TNC, negosyo din yan. And I think at that time kasi, in terms of yung standards na gusto kong mabigay sa kanila, feel ko hindi ko mabigay. And I didn't want to lose their trust. At hindi ko gusto mawala yung parang respeto nila sa akin. Kasi magsisinungaling ako na parang, ito bibigay ko to sa'yo, pero alam ko hindi ko naman mabibigay. And in reality, parang tinanggap ko na sa sarili ko na, shit, for them to grow, for me to grow, lalo na for example sa Onyx, minsan you have to let them go. Kaya I remember that na I had the choice. Do we still stick with the lineup pero I feel like hindi namin mabibigay lahat sa isa't isa? Compromise na talaga. Compromise. And then, on top of that is, yung mahirap kasi doon is, as much as possible, I wanted to keep I really did. Sa totoo lang, gustong-gusto ko na makip yung lahat na yun.
Yeah.
Everything from my coaching staff and so on and so forth. Pero yung reality, had to face it If you recall, if I recall nga pala, there was a time na dahil pagka sudden release namin, 4 days ata pagdating ng roster lock ng Indonesia sabay. And at that time, parang inisip pa bibenta yung player. Parang, syempre, of course, it's a business, right? Pero I had to put my foot down na parang, shit, parang unfair na to Kasi kung matagal ko nang binigay na parang ang tagal na kasi na dapat natin to na figure out para mabigyan sila ng opportunity. Naipit na talaga.
Yeah.
So I really recall, hindi ko makakalimutan yon. May kinausap ako, yung manager namin at the time. Ibigay mo sa akin lahat ng mga boss ng mga iba-ibang org. And never ko makakalimutan. Kinausap ko Bren, kinausap ko Echo, hindi Echo. Kinausap ko Bren, basta all teams. All PH teams, pati rin yung teams na Indonesia.
Yeah.
Lahat yan kinausap ko. And then I was like 3 a.m. Lahat yan kinausap ko. Hello, I'm the country manager of ONIC'SCLUSIVE Philippines. I just want to ask, are you interested in any of these players? All I could do at that point was, because I knew hindi ko mabibigyan yung gusto ko mabigay sa kanila, I'll just give them a team where I feel like they can grow. So I had to sacrifice what I wanted. Because I realized at the end of the day, negosyo talaga to.
Parang make it lang.
Tama. Kasi the reality is, hindi kasi masustain yung team na yun
Yeah.
Kasi in reality, I haven't told anyone this, right? But when I had that roster, I think yung gastos ko was around 7 digits.
On a monthly basis.
Sobrang laki ng linalabas sa team na yun. And whose fault was it? Definitely fucking my fault. I mean, like, honestly speaking, I mean, I can't blame anyone else but me kasi sobrang laki ng linalabas na pera at that time. And definitely I get it why we couldn't sustain it as a team. And at the same time, parang there were talks nga na baka ibibenta pa nga yung Onyx. Sa to lang, may times na gigising na lang ako sa gabi kasi hindi ko alam kung by tomorrow may trabaho pa ako.
Franchise pa ba?
Yun nga, for example, hindi ko kasi alam And it really scared me. And yung mas kinakatakutan ko at that time was kung ano mangyayari sa mga players ko.
Yeah.
Kasi marami sila doon, parang sila yung breadwinner. Marami sila doon na parang sila yung inaasahan ng mga pamilya nila. Marami kasi silang mga pangarap nila. And I didn't want na ma-waste yung oras nila. So I decided, just fuck it. Let's just bring them to a team that they think they can thrive in.
Yeah.
So, come here, Evos. I'll give you Delar. Come here, Onic. You go to Onic Indo. Coach Sheb, you go to Onic Indo. Below, you go to Geek Farm. And then you go, you go to SMG. You go wherever you want. Marky, where do you want to go? Una nga, NXP kung tama ako. Pero ang ending, kinausap na pala ni Marky si BTR. So, I was so proud at that time. Kasi nakakuha ng mga players ko yung mga teams nila. And I knew parang they were able to grow because of it. I mean, as much as possible, hindi sila nakakuha ng as much as possible, kahit hindi sila nakakuha ng trophy bilang isang player ng ONIC-PH, natuwa din naman ako nakakapagkuha sila ng trophy kung saan sila ngayon, di ba?
Yeah. Or best case or worst case, they weren't left out. No?
Yeah,
Even Ryota stayed.
Correct,
diba?
correct, yeah.
So just to put into context, para sa mga fans and even us who weren't, us 100% informed or transparent to what's happening.
Tama,
diba? In some cases, di ba? Pagdating namin doon, alam na lang namin, ito na yung players. Di ba? So imagine how, kung yung roller coaster of emotions ng mga ganun lang ka-involved sa nangyari.
Tama.
What more dun sa mga nandito
dito
mismo?
sa mismo sa kung ano nangyari. Correct.
Yeah. So,
actually, that's where that came yung line na never ko makakalimutan na sinasabi sa akin. Parang linaro na lang. Pagdating sa season 10 ko tsaka sa season 11 ng ONIC, parang linaro na lang. Kasi yung mga taong pumalit, which I find unfair kasi kahit regardless of sino yung Monster Anarchy at that time, they still have a name for themselves. Malakas din sila bilang players.
They're not nobody.
Pero the thing is, sila, yung mga Monster Anarchy, ang nangyari, kailangan nila ma-fit yung image kung ano yung ONIC dati.
Which is not fair.
Which is not fair.
Pero also, you can't blame...
Tama. Hindi ko mabe-blame talaga yung mga fans kung ano yung nararamdaman nila.
Yeah. Hindi mo blame yung fans or yung liga.
Tama talaga. I can't blame them for it.
Parang pumasok sila sa bahay na dapat at home kayo,
Correct.
Bahay nyo na yan. Yeah, so like, hindi namin alam, nasa yung CR eh. Pero sige.
So, yun nga. Pero, I mean, honestly speaking, I think since we're also talking about ONIC, and I think this is a way for me to talk to people about the reality. So, pati yung mga katotohanan din. And I just want people to know, like, why should you even care about ONIC in the first place, diba? Kasi the way I feel about it is, yun nga, kung paano din tong podcast na din to, it's the same way I want to treat my fans and my team as well.
Yeah.
I'm honest as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, ako, no holds bar ako. No filter talaga. I'm sorry. Pero, in reality, iniiwasan ko lang talaga yung mga sweet, ang tawag nun? Yung
sugarcoating,
yun, sorry. Kasi, napapansin ko, pagdating sa mga problema ngayon, ito very Filipino culture, right? Sabihin natin may problema kayo ng girlfriend mo. Ang kadalasan na, sino kausap mo muna? Hindi yung girlfriend mo eh. Kausap mo tropa mo.
Idadaan mong ganon.
Parang idadaan mo pa. Kakausapin mo yung tropa ng girlfriend mo. Kakausapin mo yung magulang ng girlfriend mo. Kakausapin mo yung pinsan ng girlfriend mo.
Pagdating sa girlfriend mo,
wala kang sasabihin.
Tapos nag-iba na rin.
Nag-iba na yung kwento. Ang ending, nakuha mo pa yung kwento sa Ayun, nakuha mo pa yung kwento from other people na hindi yung katotohanan. When in reality, ang dapat lang kausap mo, isang tao lang. So here's the thing. And being honest with everyone, and that's the same way I treat with my players. Kung may tao akong feel na under for performing, feel na parang yung attitude niya pumapangit, di sasabihin ko sa kanya. Pero the thing is, I also tell my players, kung kayo, feel nyo, nagiging pangit yung attitude ko, kung feel nyo, for example, yung ball, I don't want to deal with yung mga problems natin like before. Kasi, kung hindi kasi ako totoo, parang mabibetray ko yung fans. And feel ko yun yung nangyari kasi dati. And ayoko kasi magsabi, ayoko naman kasi ipalayo na yung fans. Kasi in fact, in reality, ito yung nafe-feel ko, ito yung theory ko. Pagdating sa fans namin, sa ONIC fans, dalawa lang yan eh.
Yeah.
Hindi na sila fans, fans pa rin sila ng ONIC, pero fans sila ng dahil nga, wala na yung ONIC na kilala nila.
So are we on the verge of a new ONIC?
Yeah.
Ito ba yun?
And yun na nga parang this is what I want people to realize na parang at the end of the day, it's not about kasi us, it's just being real. It's just being honest, diba? I just want to be as real as possible. And the thing is, I want people to realize that right now, what we're trying to uphold is that bago kami maging isang player, tao rin kami. Hindi kami hindi kami gods, bro. Hindi kami yung tipong, number 1 link sa buong mundo, wala kami dun eh. Ito yung reality namin eh. Alam namin, wala kami sa mga top 5 nyo, yung mga top 8 ibang tao, linalagay na kagad kami sa top, yung pinakamababa, early exit. Now that you remember, kinakatakutan ko talaga never mag-playoffs. Never
I've been there. I know what it feels like to either early exit or... Ayun, nakikwento pa naman din sa akin when I was part of work or part of TNC. Alam ko yung feeling na hirap yung mga dati mong bata. Alam mo yun, sobrang lugmok nun.
Yung parang kada laro, binibilang mo na lang. It just feels like every point
math. Math out mo lahat.
Grabe.
Pero yeah, even with all of this, parang sabihin, siguro identity crisis yan. Right now,
correct.
ONIC is having, despite, the relative success that you guys have, meron pa rin talaga identity crisis.
Correct.
And that's one of the worst things that you can have as not just a team or as an organization, just as human beings.
Tama.
Hindi ka komportable sa sarili mong balat.
Correct.
Parang bootcamp ko to pero bakit parang hindi ko ma-wear tong black and yellow ng masaya?
Correct. Parang parang may shadows ka na overbearing na parang you have to live up to these expectations of sino yung ONIC dati. And the thing is, I don't want people to look at us like that anymore. Like, fuck that. That's not who we are eh. We are not Kyrie, we are not Dilar. Ako may respeto pa rin ako sa mga batang yun. No matter what, kung saan silang team, I'm happy for them, sure. But they have their own lives.
Yep.
And right now, the lives of who's ever taking up ONIC are much, much different compared to them.
Very different.
Very different talaga.
This is the most different ONIC has been
for the longest time. Yeah.
Kasi season 10, Monster Anarchy yan. Season 11, nag-break si Chef.
Tama.
Tapos ngayon,
bumalik. Tapos may ibang players from Omega, ibang players from TNC. We want people to not look at us na, they're the former ONIC na they have to live up to expectations na M3 ONIC. No. Pare, ang sa atin kasi is, we want you to look at us more than players but bilang isang tao.
Yeah.
Na at the end of the day, parang kami din, meron kaming sariling struggles. Yeah. Hindi ako humahanap ng pity. Shit, fuck that, bro. Forget it. If pity lang papakita mo sa akin,
this podcast would have gone very different kung pity ang hanap natin.
Yeah. Hindi yan ang hanap ko eh. Tsaka hindi naman din hanap ng players ko yan eh. Hindi yan yung gusto namin. What we want is, if you want to support us, because you understand na tao din kami, may pinagdadaan kaming mga struggles din. Na at the end of the day, we're just people, we're just people that have a dream. Just like you.
Yeah.
You and I are not different. Whether you're a student, whether you're someone who's working a 9-to-5 job, whether you're someone who's like a leader, so on and so forth, you have your own struggles.
Yeah.
Lahat naman tayo may sariling struggle tayo. Pati nga caster may sariling struggles. Lahat tayo may pinagdadaanan, di ba?
Yeah. If anything, ONIC can be the house of, I almost lost everything pero andito pa rin ako.
Yeah, that's what I want people to know about this. Na parang, we'll go through all this shit. And what we want is, no matter what happens, we'll do everything to reach our goals and dreams. And
bago ako mag-MPL, kamuntikan na akong mawalan ng lahat. I was at what? How old was I then? That's 5 years ago. Okay, so I was 24, 25, right? That's your prime. When you're 24, 25, the world is your oyster, di ba?
Tama.
I had a condo, everything. I was paying bills, right? Pero biglang nawala lahat. Kasi I was then in radio and I had a streaming gig, influencer on. And lahat yun nawala. All at once. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame my employers. I don't blame the people I worked with. Pero biglang nawala. So, I got into a day job at a company that I didn't like, doing something that took my soul every day.
Yeah.
It was like a copywriting for BPO.
Okay.
Sobrang pangit nun. I lasted like 2 months. Pero that was the time na biglang tumawag si Wolf. Si Wolf. Without Wolf, I've told this story like dozen times already. Pero it's true every single time. Nag-message sa akin. Sabi niya, Dan, kaya mo mag-cast ng ML?
Yeah.
Sabi ko, kailangan ko lahat ng gig. Lahat ng gig na kaya kong gawin. English. Sabi ko, okay. Saturday, be there. Okay. and the rest is history. Yun yung very first MPL ko.
Yeah.
I think that was season 3, week 3 or week 4. Medyo nagsimula na yung liga. Pero I came in at the time wherein kaya ko pang humabol.
Yeah.
And then from there, I never looked back. So sabi ko, bakit na yun? All of it. Upwards na.
Yeah.
Season 3 yun. Season 4, I did my very first grand finals. That's where ONIC got it, right?
Yeah.
But also lost it at the very last moment. So yun yung pataas, di ba? So so funny how this comes full circle. Kasabay ng angat ng career ko, yung ONIC.
Yeah.
VY specifically.
Yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
Bakit yun? And then, I think, season 6, nagkaroon din. Today, I don't know why. Di ba? I'd love to expose and tell the story why. Pero hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam. They never told us. Pero, ang nangyari is they cut down the talent roster down to the 5 or 6. Sila na lang yun. Right? The season 1ers, Wolf, Rockhart, Manjin, Butters, Shinbu.
Yeah.
And then Rob, rest in peace, we miss you every day. As a pinch hitter, right? Siya yung parang sub for the main 5, Zenny Sports. Most of us got cut. And that, again, much like your situation, is like, hindi ko alam, wala na pala akong trabaho the next day. Di ba? Hindi na pala ako MPL. Kasi season 4, season 5, season 3, season 4, season 5, I worked my ass off. Diba? I gave everything.
Tama.
Sabi ko, English is gonna matter. We're gonna do this. Season 6, biglang nawala ako. And then, playoffs, tinawagan kami. And, ayun, like, they called a good bunch of us back para mas mapuno yung season 6 playoffs. And then season 7 onwards ulit. So parang same yung trajectory na parang may dips, may paangat.
Correct.
And then, ayun, I resonate with that na parang life is gonna kick you down. Life is gonna make you question. Parang bakit pa ako nandito? Kung gaganin nyo rin parang kami. Pero every day you work to say, nandito pa rin ako eh. May pangarap ako eh. So we're gonna keep going.
But I'm just curious, diba? Pero, diba, even something like that na in-expect mo yung consistency, diba? Have you ever like thought of giving up?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. May mga times na kine-question ko kung tama ba tong ginagawa ko? Kasi when the paydays come and you get the best gigs, you're in a different country and you're paid handsomely and you're at the grand finals calling the next big champion. That's the best.
Yeah.
Pero during days where you're not part of the grand finals, during the days wherein you see your colleagues are doing much better than you, nagtataka kayo parang
kung fit ka ba or
parang may mali ba akong ginawa?
Yeah.
Maghahanap na ba ako ng trabaho? Alam mo yun? So there are days like that. Luckily, those days have been paano ba? Nakaisa pa lang yata ako, nakadalawa in 2023. So yeah, they do come. There are days like that.
Yeah, I think the important thing that we want to like share with everyone talaga is at the end of the day, the important lesson and culture that we want to bring pagdating sa mga tao is the importance talaga of being real to yourself and at the same time understanding talaga na may mga struggles na mararating. May times talaga na kahit sino ka pa naman yan, may times na gusto mo mag-give up eh. Totoo yun eh. Pati nga yung mga players, totoo din yan eh. May times na kahit sobrang lapit na nila tapos feel na nilang sila yung problema, nag-overthink na nila, sobrang degrading ng confidence nila.
Yep.
Those are the things that really happen to us.
Ang malala is bata pa sila.
Yeah, that's true. Parang so much problems are put onto their shoulder.
At such a
young age, correct.
A very, paano ba yun? Pivotal age.
Tama.
Na dapat nag-aaral ka, dapat nabubuo mo yung personality mo. Pero you have hundreds of thousands of people telling you how you should be and expecting for you to do certain things. Diba?
Correct.
So, not to mention yung pressure ng family mo na, diba, bigla kang naging breadwinner in certain cases. So,
correct.
I get it.
And I think that's just what we want to say to everyone. Like, if you want to be our fan, if you want to care about ONIC, do it because you want to. Don't do it because you pity us. Don't do it because baka one day you'll become like the M3 or magbabalik yung mga gantong play. No. Be a fan because you believe in people who work their ass off. Be a fan because you understand na may pinagdadaanan tayong lahat.
Yeah.
Be a fan because you feel that you connect with us. And be a fan if you feel like we are people that you can really identify with na tayo, we want to work our ass off because we want to achieve our goals. And kami, we want that feeling, we want to provide that support to one another. Kasi at the end of the day, what I really want us to do bilang isang org, right? As I want to inspire you guys to show you that we're just normal people that work so hard to achieve a dream. And we also want you to know that you also inspire us. Kasi kayo, you have your own problems. You have your own financial issues, family, whether it be mental health. Lahat yan, pinagdadaanan nyo yan. Everyone has different problems. But what's most important for us at the end of the day is that we have one goal and one dream na gusto natin matupad no matter what happens. So yeah, actually, with that saying, I think that's the end of our spiel, right?
That's on exclusive.
Yeah, that's on exclusive.
Exclusive tayo dito. Nakailang labas ng kwento at balita na dito lang.
Pero before that, we would like to personally thank Dan Leo Cubangay for this moment, for his appearance. And we'd like to give him a small gift. Here you go.
Ooh, what is this, Raf? Thank you.
So you can open it up. It's a pin that we normally give to our to mga management and coaches.
Oh, wow.
So you can be wearing that if you feel like that. Yeah.
I have I think that it's one of my most popular, most well-known things. I collect pins, right?
Yeah.
From every single international event. Isa lang ang team na nagbigay pa sa akin ng pin na ganito.
Yeah.
It's Falcon from Myanmar. So ONIC is part of that na. So
thank you again for the time. Thank you.
I love it. No, this is an amazing thing. I think nag-enjoy din ang mga Sonics.
Yeah.
And nag-enjoy din ang mga Sonics to be.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully we reached some new bloods out there
correct.
that believe in that dream. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Do we have any more time for questions? Yeah.
Dami nagre-react kasi dun sa mga sa mga kwento natin.
I think given it's medyo late na din, it's around 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
It took us a time.
Dalawang oras na nagkwentuhan.
Thank you so much, by the way, for all the time that you spent here. For those who kept on watching, don't forget we have more codes down. So please feel free to comment, share, and follow the page. Thank you so much for watching us, and make sure that the next time we have on exclusive, make sure to follow and watch again. Sorry. Once again, thank you everyone and good night. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Thank you again, Leo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Peace.